Here now we will see regarding the languages. Now in languages, as we will all see that we are well versed with the LSWR skills, the achievable type of goals which are there. Apart from that, the child should able to speak in that particular language, grammatically correct language. Apart from that, students here action verb is students will able to identify what they will able to identify. The objective is what the exposition, climax, and resolution point in the plot of a reading test. Means suppose there is a prose or poetry. Suppose in the prose there is some story. In that story, the child should able to understand, should able to identify the exposition. What is the exposition? What is the climax of the story? What is the background of it? Or what will be the next type of situation there? Or what is the kind of relation, connection between various characters the child should able to understand. And when the child will able to understand all these things is at the end of reading test. Means that when the child is reading the text, at that time the child should able to identify, analyze, or diagnose all the characters in that story, or their relation, or their various type of consequences that takes place should be understood. Next is the student will able to draw. What they will able to draw is a connection between different ideas. In every chapter there are some ideas, there are some morals, or there are some virtual type of situations. They should able to connect between the characters in this. They should able to connect between the ideas. They should able to get or draw the moral out of that story. And when will it be? By using the background knowledge from reading the text. Means by using the background knowledge of this text, they should able to understand, frame their own ideas, frame their own type of consistent view or vision, that what is exactly given, why was this chapter taught to us, what is exactly the point behind it, should be able to understood by the child. Next is student will able to form prediction. They should be able to predict something out of it about the next course of events in the story from Malgudi Days. Now Malgudi Days series they are studying. In that they should be able to understand what is this story, why is this story given, what is exactly given in the story, and by working with collaboration with other members of reading club, and by using at least 3 pieces of textual evidences of the story, they should be able to collaborate. Means by means of group discussion, by means of the group project, by means of the group activity, the child should be able to understand, perform some roles from the Malgudi Days, understand the characters in Malgudi Days, or what is the idea behind giving these Malgudi Days stories. The child should be able to understand. So every language has, maybe it is Hindi or Marathi, English, or whichever language, the idea behind it is one and the same thing. Now after languages, we will move towards the social sciences. Now in social sciences, maybe it is history, geography, or disaster management, economics, or whatever it is, that is whichever subject it is. Student will able to defend the action of Mahatma Gandhi in formal class debate. They should able to debate. They should able to present their own ideas behind any of the chapter, any of the national hero, or any of the character which is given, so that they can frame their own ideas. They can propose their own views and vision after the history lesson of Chaura Chauri event in history 7th standard, or whether it is 8th standard. They should able to quote their own ideas is the main important thing behind it, and that is nothing but the learning outcome. They should able to understand the principles of Mahatma Gandhi, why was it applied all over the world, and various other things which are there in the chapter. Now students will able to justify, they should able to justify what they should able to justify, why they would make good ministers. Nowadays there are so many things about this political situation, so students should be able to justify that why they should have good leader, right from their village up to the national level, of the out of the country level. What kind of minister, what kind of good minister they should have, why they should have it, who can be a good minister, ask their views. If you become the minister, what will be your idea, what all you will be able to do. So the child will be able to put forth his ideas, that what is a good minister, and if suppose he becomes the leader, or if he becomes the minister, what all he will be able to do, his responsibilities, his duties, his obedience regarding the nation. And when all this will be achieved, after studying the role and responsibility of central and state government in the civics subject. Now in civics they will be able to understand what are the various systems, that is administrative system is there, then whatever other things are there, they will be able to understand it and their role as a citizen in the near future. Students will able to differentiate. Now already they have defended, they have justified, and now they will able to differentiate. Means here their skills are displayed. The learning outcomes are tested or checked, whether the students are able to defend, whether the students are able to justify, and whether the students are able to differentiate between what? Climate and weather. Usually we use very commonly the word what is climate and what is weather. We say that it is almost one and the same thing, but it has a vast difference. One is a daily and one is changing after the duration of about 25 years or more. So they should able to differentiate that climate is a different thing and weather is a different thing. One changes daily, the other changes may change after 25, 30 or more than that year. And by illustrating the case of their locality. Now, where different students come from different localities, different regions. So, what is the weather condition at that place, or what is the climatic condition at that place? Whether it is same as of our own place. So, they should be able to differentiate within these conditions. Now, suggestive assessment practices to gauge achievement of learning outcomes. Now, when the learning outcomes are to be tested, are to be assessed, what all you have to do? First is integrate with assessment for the learner and as learning tool. Means assessment should not be only for checking how much marks the child is getting after conducting a particular test or an examination, or a kind of we can say some various other things. Here we understand that the assessment should be for learning and assessment as a learning. Assessment also should be a part of learning and assessment is for learning. So very important statement here is integrated assessment for learning and as a learning. Means for learning is what is we should understand whether the goals, whether the learning outcomes are achieved, and assessment as a learning means child should understand that whether by means of self-assessment that whether the learning outcomes are achieved or not. Some of the major features of learning outcomes could be assessment. How should it be? It should be application of knowledge for the real world life. So it should be applicable for the day-to-day problems of the child. A balance between assessment for and of learning, means assessment for learning and assessment of learning, that we have already seen. Then what are the various tools to be used? Multiple methods like portfolios, MCQ, short answer, long answer, and various other tools can be used for assessment process. Now, suggested lesson plan for competency based learning for experiential pedagogy. Now here it is described in a word that is called as engage. Now E is energize the learner. Learner should be energized at the beginning or before starting the class. So when you start the class, they should be energized to learn, make them ready to learn. Their anxiousness, their anxiety should increase, their curiosity should increase to learn, and keep it up through the class. Next is navigate the content. Teach and review. While teaching, we have to also review whether they have really understood, whether they are really followed by the method you taught, or you need to change the methodology, you need to change the tool, you need to change the or cater your own methodology to make them to understand. Next is generate meaning. Whether move to the long-term memory through reflection. Now, whether the child has really understood the content, and if the child has really understood the content, whether the child is able to generate a meaning of that content, and for a lifelong learning it should be done, and the reflection should be seen out of the learning outcomes which are there, or its experiential learning. Next is apply to the real life. Demonstrate the skill. Whatever skills they have earned, whatever skills they have learned in the teaching, that should be applied for the real life situation, day-to-day life situation. Then and then only we can say there is a perfect learning, there is a perfect teaching, and there is perfect type of output or outcome of it. Next is gauge the learning. Look how much you have learned. By means of self-assessment, the child themselves also understand whether they have learnt the content, whether they have earned some kind of skills, some kind of ability, some kind of proficiency out of that content. If not, then we can modify our methodology or content imparting procedure, and it should be catered by our own way. And last is extended activities. After teaching certain content, you have to give them some project, some activities, so that they can derive the knowledge they have earned can be derived in the form of another activity, and the knowledge, skills, abilities, or the kind of set of skills they have achieved can be used in the next activity. That is called as extended activities. Now, what are the competencies in learning? Teacher competencies: knowledge of the students and their development, understand and appreciate the diversity. We know that while teaching, there are various type of students in the class, their own personalities, their own mindset, their own individuality has to be respected, and accordingly the instructions has to be imparted. Next is create an effective learning environment. Unless and until a teacher creates a learning environment, the teaching learning cannot be effective at all. If by rote method, by daily routine method, traditional method, if you teach, they will get too much bored because of the teaching procedure. So create a learning atmosphere. A kind of curiosity has to be created in the mind of child. Next is understand the subject matter. We need to understand the subject matter first and know the simplest facilitating way of imparting the knowledge or teaching the matter to the students. Only by a rote method, by the traditional method, if you teach, neither they will feel interest in learning nor they will like your learning. Next is plan and design appropriate learning experiences. Various types of learning experiences has to be included, planned and designed before teaching. Unless and until you plan and design the appropriate learning experiences, they cannot be implemented while teaching. Next is uses of ongoing assessment to monitor students' learning. Every now and then, assessment tool has to be used to check whether this learning process is going on in a very soft and in a very smooth way, or whether some hurdles are there, whether certain problems are there, or whether some kind of difficulties are there in the teaching learning procedure. That has to be assessed, tested and rectified by the teacher every now and then during ongoing process of teaching. Now develops professional practice. We need to develop our professional practice. Every day we should have different methodology, technology, ideology of teaching. Need of competency based. Why there is a need of competency based education? Now, competency includes explicit, measurable, transferable learning objective that empowers the student. All these efforts are done for empowering the students with the skills, with knowledge, with experiences, with skills, and with the type of various type of objectives that has to be achieved by the child to implement, to apply in their own life during the day-to-day life. Now, assessment is meaningful tool, or assessment is also meaningful part as a positive learning experience of the student. Means they should not feel assessment as a burden, assessment as a kind of threat, but assessment should be a positive learning. Out of assessment also they should be able to learn something, that really there are some deficiencies, there are some gaps in my knowledge, in my experience, in my learning process, and not a kind of burden or stress, a kind of heavy thing over their brain. So the assessment tool should be used in a very simplified way. Students receive timely differentiated support based on their individual learning needs. Every student has different learning needs, their talents, their way of learning, their grasping and their individuality is different. So accordingly their needs should be able to satisfied by means of the various ways and methods of teaching. Now here we will find one very nice type of sketch is there, a kind of picture is there, which is a combination of skills, abilities and knowledge, how they are interrelated to one another. And below that you will find the competency. There is knowledge, skills and attitudes. So there will be a positive change in attitude. The child should be able to earn some skills along with the knowledge, and that is called as competency. So if the skills, knowledge and abilities are woven together, then that is called as the competency. Now what competencies will I enhance as a teacher? Very important part. Up till now we are discussing about the students, but to do all these things, what is important on our part as a teacher, that is very important. Unless and until we plan it in a proper way, it cannot be executed in a very proper way. Therefore, interacting well with the students, very important. No any kind of authoritarian type of teaching, it should be a democratic teaching, and therefore interacting with the students in a very good manner. They should feel interest in a teacher as well as in the learning procedure also. Educators must be able to positively interact with all the students. Very important. Unless and until we are positive, we cannot expect the students to be positive in the class or active in the class. Next is creating learning environment. Already discussed. We need to create learning environment in the class. Then and then only the students will learn, the children will learn. In my many more trainings, I give very good example about this learning environment. Just within 1 minute I can describe you. Suppose English teacher goes in the class and tells that in Marathi, this example is very clearly understood by the teachers while training is going on, that while English teacher says इंग्रजी हे वाघिणीचं दूध आहे, ते माझ्या आजोबाला पचलं नाही, माझ्या बापाला पचलं नाही, मला पचलं नाही, तुमच्यासाठी तर काय राहिलं आहे. Then the students will able to understand that this English is something very difficult thing, very different thing, and I am unable to cope up with learning English. So such kind of environment, if it is created in the class, if you say learning tables is a very difficult thing, no one can learn the table, remember the table, children will never able to learn the table. So learning atmosphere has to be created. Good lesson plan is very important. Unless and until we cook properly, we cannot serve a good food. And if uncooked food is served, it will necessarily be a painful thing in the stomach. So creating a good lesson plan is also very important thing. Able to use varied teaching strategy. One single strategy is never found useful for 40 children sitting in the class. So there should be a varied teaching strategies used for every aspect or every part of the chapter, every part of the content. Not one common strategy useful at all. Able to assess, the teacher should able to assess the students, assess the learning procedure, teaching procedure at every now and then, every step of teaching, and should able to understand how far are the children, how far are the learners from him, and what is the gap between them. So able to assess every now and then during the teaching learning process. Now able to identify student need. First we should know what is the need of the students, and then only you should start your teaching or instruction. Unless and until you do not know the need, they will neither learn from you anything, nor you will able to impart in a positive way, in a very effective way. So very important thing is, unless and until you are very firm with your ideas, with your concepts and with your ideology of their need, you cannot impart positive instructions in them. Good communication is very important. Unless and until you have very good communication, the knowledge cannot be imparted effectively. And able to collaborate. Nowadays collaboration is very important. Authoritarian teaching or teacher-centered method is almost outdated. Child-centered method is there. So there should be a collaboration between the teacher, the students, the parents, and all other stakeholders which are involved in this procedure. Now here I am displaying a very nice, we can say, a lesson plan. It is not ideal, I can say. It is not the final. Everybody can cater their own, but here this is a suggestive type of, we can say, suggestive type of lesson plan, which includes all the aspects whatever are described up till now. Till now I have told you about learning outcome. Here you will find the very first part, learning outcomes are there. Suppose my chapter is food, where does it come from, of class 6 exemplary I have taken. Here you will find 3 learning outcomes are set by the teacher, that is identify the food items and their ingredients, what animals are eating, and such as squirrel, nuts, and they will be able to understand different animals will eat different food in a different way, and they should be able to tell that if you tell some example of some animal, how do they eat that particular food, whether they are biting, chewing, sucking, they should be able to tell it at the end of the chapter. Then classify the food material into different groups, such as fruits are there, vegetables are there, cereals are, grains, and whatever it is. They should be able to identify if we give some examples. Then animals, they should be able to classify the animals into herbivores, carnivores, and omnivores, and the food as the animal products and plant products. What are the food items they eat as herbivorous, carnivorous, and omnivorous? If they are able to understand this particular part, means your chapter is very effective. Then what are the teaching methodologies? Here you will find explanatory, demonstration, question answer, discussion, analyze, and identification type of methodologies are used. Here you will find various multiple methodologies are used. In the previous slide we have seen that strategy has to be multiple strategies. Now here you will find the content is explained. Below that you will find a diagram is shown, some food processing or cooking process or obtaining the finished food, finished type of food is obtained. Then some resources are also mentioned here, that NCERT book is used, teacher's manual, AV aid is used, NCERT science lab manual, and a site is also mentioned. So all this content you will find in the learning outcome book, in the teacher's handbook, as well as the recently the calendar which is published by NCERT, that is alternative academic calendar. All these things are clearly mentioned, so you have to just pick up from there and put it here, and your lesson plan, year plan, pedagogical plan will be ready. Now your teaching aids are mentioned, then learner activities are mentioned, extended learning or experiential learning activities are mentioned. Art integration is very important part. Here art integration is done to sketch, figure, or collect of some pictures. They can collect some pictures of food items and paste it in their notebooks. Either they can sketch it or they can cut it the pictures from the old books and paste it. So this is art integration. And last is 2 assignment questions are there, and below that you'll find the reflection, remark of the completion of the chapter. So this is kind of suggestive lesson plan which includes everything whatever is discussed up till now is included in this lesson plan. Hope it is clear to you. Now very important, the last part is assessment. How to do the assessment is very important part, as it is earlier told that it should not be a kind of burden, a stress on the students, or it should not be a kind of unwanted thing. In a very simple language I can say unwanted thing for the students, or the assessment should be carried out in such a way that it should be knowingly or unknowingly it should be carried out, and teacher should be able to judge or understand the level of teaching learning process. Now here assessment involves professional judgment based upon an image formed by the collection of information about the student's performance. Means we can assess the students by means of their performance. If their performance is up to the mark, it is good, it is satisfied, then the assessment tool has worked well, your teaching learning procedure has also worked well. If not, then there is some kind of shortcomings in the teaching learning procedure or in the instructional design and implementation. Next is assessment is important to measure the learning outcome. Why do we do assessment? Is to test, to check the learning outcome, whether the learner has really achieved the learning outcomes or not. Generally assessments are of 2 types. First is less formal and the second is more formal. I think this may be a new part for most of us, but we should know exactly what is less formal and what is more formal. There are several tools of assessment that can be categorized under. Now below this you will find in the next slide there are some assessment tools which are mentioned. Now very important statement, a teacher should aim to use all kinds of assessment. No one type of assessment can be considered as only correct method. Usually we feel that assessment means conduct a 20 marks test, 40 marks, 50 or 100 marks test and check how much marks the child has earned, and that is called as assessment. It is not assessment. It can be a very small part of assessment, and that is the last part of assessment. Now here you will find what kind of assessment procedures are there. Now here you will find a less formal and more formal. Exactly you will be able to understand, or clearly you will be able to understand what are the less formal and what are more formal. Less formal are carried out usually during the teaching procedure. During the teaching process these things are carried out, and more formals are usually carried out at the end of instruction or at the end of the teaching. Usually these are carried out. Now what you find here, unstructured, that is chance meetings and conversations are unstructured. Anytime, anyway you can conduct it and carry it out. Slightly structured, observation schedules including observations in the group work, classwork, or etc. Interview scheduled, questionnaires or quizzes, of role play, analysis of given in the text, newspaper articles, portfolio, student self-assessment and peer assessment. These are slightly structured formal type of assessment tools, we can say. The next is more structured classroom test. We can conduct a short test, classroom test, checklists are there, portfolios are there, practical work, project work, case studies, concept maps, and entry and exit card. These are more structured type of formal assessment. And the last is most structured, that is examination that we conduct. Actually that is the traditional way of conducting the assessment. Then standardized test and published aptitude test. These are the structured tests, or we can say these are the most structured tests which are carried out for assessment. So here you should understand, so there are two things, one is less formal and one is more formal. So as per the need, as per the requirement, as per the conditions, you have to carry out the assessment according to this, and this plan should be ready before the instructions are given or before the teaching is done, so that we understand exactly which of these has to be implemented or carried out in the class. Okay. Now, suggestions for engagement and assessment of the students. Assessment need to be integrated part of the teaching learning process. It is not a special part. I told you it is a part of teaching learning process. Students sometimes should not able to even understand that they are getting assessed. Unknowingly, they should get assessed. So it is also part of teaching learning to understand whether they have really achieved the learning outcomes or they have really achieved the skills. So here you will find 3-4 things are coming again and again. One is skills, one is learning outcome, another is experiential learning. All these things are the main important abilities are to be achieved by the learner. So assessment need to be integrated part of the teaching learning process, whether through face-to-face mode or a distance mode. Now usually we carry it out face-to-face, but during this COVID situation we carry it out the distance mode level. Learners may be motivated for self-assessment. Very important is self-assessment by the learner themselves, and there they will be able to realize that whether they have really achieved the expected things or not, and we should be able to understand whatever they have not achieved, we can able to impart it again in a different way. Now assessment that can be given to the students are what earlier we have already discussed. MCQs are there, essay short answer or LA long answer, activity based question or open book question also can be given as per the need, as per the requirement or as per the situation. Next, learner may be motivated. Very important is they should be motivated to crossword puzzle, participation, online quizzes. It can be created on a software called as Kahoot. The attachment is given or annexure is given here. Then construct model device related to, we should be able to construct our own models or device related to the concept learning. Next is discuss some questions posed by mentor or any query raised by the student. Usually students should be given ample chances to ask the question, and from that also we can understand, assess them whether they have really understood or whether there are still some kind of shortcomings in teaching learning process. Write slogans, create any poem, especially this can be in the languages or SST also this can be implemented or used. Next is create games on their concept learning. They should be able to solve the games, or they should also be able to create some kind of games. So thank you. I hope all the concepts are clear to you. On my part, I have tried my level best to go it in a simplified and a facilitating way with examples, with elaborations, and with some kind of additional type of quotes to it. I have tried my levels. Thank you very much.